What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the BULLCAST.
Yeah, welcome to this Bulls match. We
Yeah.
are so happy to be back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been too long, is what it's been.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Which, in my case, I mean, I'd rather just sit here and do this all day. So
Yeah, I've had a really busy week. Been touring the country doing my symposiums at all the, all the universities. Of course.
that's awesome, and
Yeah.
it's really great that you're doing that. I'm
I know.
excited for you.
Well, we're touching base on the stuff that's really important.
Yeah.
Global warming. My
Yes.
solution to global warming, which of course most of the scientists in the country have adopted and say, well, that's accurate. And then of course we're hitting on a few other important topics.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but the what you're proposing, which I think I'm a full supporter of. I was there when
Yeah.
you kind of
Came
thought
up
of the thing
Yeah.
was leaving everybody's refrigerator doors open and freezers at the same time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was part of the solution.
Yes. Yeah.
They asked me, they said, well, why is this happening? What is global warming? What is that? And I told them, I said, look, it's real simple. With all the aerosol hairspray mostly, that's the biggest problem.
Uh-huh.
We've busted a hole into the ozone layer, and the issue is that the water is probably the biggest problem we're having right now. It's evaporating through the
Yeah.
ozone layer out into space, and that's why they're finding water on other planets, because it's evaporating out of ours.
And they're just
Right.
getting it.
They're getting it, and it's just landing on Mars. Just kind of floating around out there.
Well,
you know?
I think really to address the end zone layer, the hole
hole in
you
it, yeah.
first have to
Yeah.
you have to work on the red zone too.
Well, yeah, of course.
The red zone I think comes first before you get to the end zone layer.
Well, yeah, the red zone is obviously the stratosphere below
yes.
the space
Yes.
above us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And it's frustrating to me to see those other planets get our precious, commodity.
Liquids.
Yes.
Fluids. I mean,
Yeah.
fluids are important of any kind.
Yeah, I
you know.
agree. I'm a big fluid guy. Yeah.
yeah.
But you know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I told everyone, I said, look, the problem is really not global warming, that we're running out of water,
Yes. Yeah.
through the end zone. So,
And for me, it's not even we're running out of water.
Yeah.
It's just that somebody else gets it.
That's what I mean.
And
Yeah.
that, I've always been kind of that jealous,
Yeah.
that's mine,
Right,
very
right.
possessive, very,
Right.
so that's my problem with it. If it was just going and evaporating,
Not a big
that's,
deal.
That's life.
C'est
You know,
la
that-
vie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
c'est la vie. Yep.
Mm,
Yep. See, love me. Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
yeah. So, I'm tired. I've been touring around a lot. And then I did meet a celebrity, which was really exciting. Yeah, it was Donald Trump's hairdresser. And so we talked for a while. I said, hey, why don't you come have a,
Yep. Past the security, the
Yeah.
hairdresser security.
Yeah. I have the
Wow.
the badge for it. When I'm doing my symposiums,
Yes.
I have to have full
Yeah,
access
you
so
have
I can
full
spread the
access.
word. Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyways, I went and saw the hairdresser. The problem was no hair. And I
The
said,
hairdresser had no hair.
I
Or
have
you,
no hair.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never
So-
seen you without a hat on. So
Well,
even in the shower or
No.
swimming or anything.
Always
so,
on.
Yeah. Always.
So I was like, hey, I don't have any hair. So as luck would have it, they did the pube swipe, downstairs. There's like a swoosh with the bleaching on the pubes. They straighten them, swoosh them, style it.
That's impressive.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they put some kind of softener on them.
Really? It's like a conditioner of sorts.
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a straightener
Fantastic.
conditioner.
Yeah.
It's one of the products by Mattel.
Yeah.
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 All the teenagers use it now.
Yeah. Well,
But-
kids these days,
Yeah.
I really haven't had any, brushes with celebrities recently.
Have you
I
not?
mean, no. Well, I was just a boring like Paula Abdul and
Is that really a celebrity,
crew.
though?
Yeah, that
You
doesn't
know.
really not like a hair Donald Trump's hairdresser.
Yeah, I met Harry Potter once. That was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and I don't even know how he would be in real life because
he was at
in the
Walmart.
movies he's so he was at Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. Yeah,
Cool.
He was in the photo section. Just-
Oh,
I don't know what he was doing.
yeah.
He just kept on flashing this thing, and pictures were popping.
So now,
up.
do they develop the moving pictures at Walmart, like where they're like screaming and in the picture? Do they do that? I don't know. I've never asked, so it's my problem.
No,
But
I don't know if they do or not. He had like a trench coat on,
yeah,
and he kept flipping it open.
uh-huh.
And this flash would happen, this
And it was just
thing
a
would
picture would come
pop
out.
out. Yeah, and then the photo was there. So I don't know.
Oh,
It
okay.
was,
But it wasn't a moving picture like they have in the movies.
well, it was moving. whatever was under there when he opened his
Okay, but
his jacket up. his
yeah,
trench
the
coat.
actual mechanism for capturing whatever was happening.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Okay.
It was bad.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly different from the movie. That's what's frustrating is there's people are so different in real life compared to
Yeah,
compared to the movie.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. I've met, like I said, I met a lot of celebrities. One of my biggest people I was really disappointed. I met Darth Vader. Not
Yeah.
the same in the movie as in
Really?
real life. No, I didn't recognize him. The only reason I recognized him is he said something.
And you
I
just
turned
heard the
around.
voice.
I was like,
Yeah.
"That's Darth Vader."
Yeah.
I turned around and I was, "What?" And so the guy, turns out he's wearing a freaking costume. That's not even real.
See, I heard that people who know him closely and like his family, like the little kids in his family, call him Veve.
Veve.
Is that true or?
Yeah, I think so. Is it? Yeah, I think so because I think it was because he spent so much time in Vegas. You know, the Veve Las Vegas. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they nicknamed him Veve.
Yeah,
You know?
I just and for me, I really that's tough to hear because I was always such a big supporter of him through his respiratory problems, just having to
Struggle through it. Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
To live like that has got to be tough.
It is, but in all fairness, I mean, the Mayo Clinic, they have made outstanding advancements.
That is true. Yeah, it just
Not only
not only with mayonnaise, but with
Right.
all other
Well, they
things to put on hamburgers.
Exactly. They've made the mayo with avocado, olive oil. They've even gone as far as to make, what's it called? I think mayo chup. I
Yeah,
think that's a new product. They've
Mayo
come out.
chup. Okay.
It's like mayonnaise and ketchup mixed together.
Oh yeah,
And it's very good.
yeah.
It's good. I put it on all my potato chips and, stuff like that.
I think that's awesome, and I can't, like we were talking about global warming. I'm gonna have to slip in something
Yeah.
here just because
Yeah.
it's my passion. But
Well.
you spoke on olive oil, and
Yeah.
I've found that if you do olive oil in your car, in your vehicle, in your lawnmower, well, with your lawnmower, you mix olive oil in with your gas.
Two-stroke.
Zero,
Two-stroke, yeah.
zero emissions.
Zero. Yeah.
Yeah, zero emissions.
Yeah.
And so replace your traditional oil
Yeah.
with olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, so it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but, because we're losing water because of this global warming.
Through the end zone layer, right?
Yeah, through the ozone layer.
Evaporation.
Okay.
And it goes out like a big tube.
Yes. Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
The Hubble telescope has picked it up. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
And so if you use this precious commodity water to dilute your gas,
Yeah.
and here's the secret, add some sugar with your gas in
Right.
your car.
Makes sense.
It will just tremendously boost performance, mileage,
Right in
and
the gas
everything.
tank.
So yeah, all in the you can do this
Yeah.
all in the gas tank. So what I do is I keep just a couple sugar packets I get from Hardee's.
Right.
And then I splash a little bit of gas in there,
Mm-hmm.
throw about a gallon and a half of water, and then about 4 or 5 packs of sugar.
That's
and I just throw the whole pack of sugar in there, paper
With
and
paper,
everything.
yeah, it's biodegradable. Why
Yes,
wouldn't you?
yeah.
And I because I saw you doing that, and you told me about how much difference it made in your mileage and performance. So I started another company, and it's
Oh.
going it's going really good.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we make all biodegradable oils for your vehicle.
Wow.
But here's the thing: we found that the best oil on the planet is mucous membranes and snail oil.
Really?
Yeah. So and
It makes perfect sense,
It
though.
does, and every bottle we sell is hand milked. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
So like they take the milk and they put it in there to get the oils.
And that's the kind of thing is you're doing it the old-fashioned way, and that's what I like to see.
Every single
Yeah.
quart, whether
Yeah.
it needs to be done or not, we don't care.
Yeah.
Because a couple things. One, I feel like it's more efficient. Number two, you're giving more jobs to people because it's not automated.
No. Yeah.
And the thing that turns out is when these people are done, their hands are silky smooth
That's perfect. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win-win
for everybody.
And the snails, I feel like enjoy it.
They
I
do.
feel- yeah.
It's non-invasive.
Uh-huh.
I mean, basically, we get the snail. You just remove the shell carefully,
Mm-hmm.
and we run them through. Almost looks like a cheese grater type thing, but you push them gently.
Oh.
And when they
okay.
come out the backside, you put all the innards and the entrails back in the shell
Uh-huh.
and put them in
But
the
they're
cardboard.
fine.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come right around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And it's all about the end zone layer. I think that's
That's
what
key.
we need to get,
Yeah.
across in this episode is the end zone layer.
Global warming.
Yes, global
yeah.
warming. first we need to take care of the red zone and then go straight into the end zone.
End zone layer,
Just
right?
making sure it's good.
Well, the thing is, we were talking about this, me and a group of scientists from Sweden, Russia, Yugoslavia, and there was one strange one from Fiji. But he had some pretty good insight. But
You were in Asia?
yeah, just
Okay.
on
Just
last
as like an
week.
Asian summit from
Right.
all those Asian countries. Okay.
Right.
I got you.
And so we came up with an idea, and I think this is a good one to patch the end zone layer. So what you do is you take like a blimp, size balloon,
Okay.
and almost like you're opening up an artery in someone. Okay, we put it up into the hole inside the end zone layer, park it there, and we tether it to the bottom of the ocean. So it's up there on a tether floating. We
Yes.
use hydrogen because it's the best.
Uh-huh.
And once it gets up there, we inflate it right inside the hole of the end zone layer, blocking it.
Okay.
There it is.
I don't know
And that
because
would keep
I
all
love it.
the-
It's practical. I can wrap my mind around it, and I can put my hands on it.
The best thing is it would be an awesome tourist attraction
That is true.
because they could go
yes.
out in the middle of the ocean and we could show them this string coming up and be like, hey, you know what this is? This patches the end zone layer.
And just a little thought off the top of my head here.
Yeah.
You could even have a competition, like a yearly competition, and be like, we need the strongest from every nation, and whoever can climb the highest on
The
this
fastest.
string, wins.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's like a World Cup, but for climbing the thing that's holding.
That
in
would
or
also be
keeping
good
the
for
end
like
zone
the
together.
Boy Scouts, endurance testing.
Yes.
Maybe
yeah.
even police officer training.
or even just everyday triumphs of the human will.
That's
Like
true.
say you're an accountant and you're just tired of your life.
You feel
I want to
weak.
go do something.
You don't know numbers.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
go and you just climb that thing.
And make
I
it
think
happen.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is about, we're not. You need to start not with fixing the end zone, but defending the end zone.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right. It's all about
You just got to defend the end zone.
yeah, because there's the hairspray is coming after. it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
the time. And they did a study. It's not pollution. It's not the stuff that's in your air conditioner. What is that? Freon or what? That's all made up. It's hairspray. The biggest contributor they found was Aquanet,
Aquanet.
and that company has been dissolved.
Wow.
So hopefully the end zone layer won't get any bigger. They recommend if you're using hairspray, use only Aussie Mega.
I'll see. Okay.
It's got the little kangaroo on it. It also smells fruity and fantastic.
Which actually happens to be our sponsor for today's video.
yeah, Aussie Mega.
Aussie. So make sure to go check out their products. We get 95% of the sales coming off this video. So make sure to go stop on by. They're the only ones that
Yeah.
you should really support.
That's it. The other thing is when they did my Trump swoosh pube thing,
Yeah.
Aussie Mega.
Yeah, they did that.
They did.
They were like it was
Yeah,
their
because
products. Okay.
It was because there's a few reasons for that. One, it smells fantastic.
Yes.
And two, the hold is tested up to 262 miles an hour. So
That's,
You know
I mean,
what-
it's on the low end, but
yeah,
it's better than a lot of the
yeah.
competitors.
So a
out
lot of
there.
times when I'll ride my motorcycle, right, and I just
Yeah.
got the Trump pube swoosh,
just
and
laying out.
I'm naked, just flying. I mean, I'm flying, and I look down, no movement.
It's fine. Yeah.
No
That's the
movement.
American dream, though, really.
Yeah, it almost looks like a mustache.
Is looking-
coming off one side.
is looking good and
Yeah.
feeling good
Yeah,
all
all
naked.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the key.
It is.
So, yeah, I think, bringing awareness, like you said, Aquanet got dissolved, and that's what we're here to
Yeah.
do, is just
They really
totally
are
just
the-
bring down
they're-
large companies that employ thousands
Of course.
people.
Well,
That's
Aquanet
what-
really is the Nazis of cosmetics.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they are definitely anti-Semitic.
Wow.
They're not good. They're not good.
Okay.
So we got rid of them.
Yeah,
of
well, that's
course.
good.
Myself and a few other attorneys got together and said, "Hey, we're gonna have to."
How is your firm going?
It's good. It's good. I mean, we practice in a very specialized area, which is not super common. We specialize in fraudulent cash checking of fraudulent cash checking, but it has to be endorsed by a second party from out of state. If that's happened, we take care of that.
Okay.
The other thing is
It's pretty specialized, yeah.
it is. And then the other thing we deal with is there's a lot of blind snow rats that are coming into the United States, and we deal with that aspect of the migration.
And they're just coming. You're wanting them to stay, right? You want them to provide them shelter, or
Well, here's the problem. They come in so many at a time. We need a way to govern whether they can come in or not.
Okay, you need to- okay.
And in order for them to come in, they have to have three traits. One, they need to be fair to full albino.
Okay.
completely blind. And also, if their tail is shorter than their legs, they're in.
So no long tail.
No. Because the long tails, they carry rabies and also
They're just
some other
icky.
STDs. Right.
Yeah, I just don't like the long tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. No. Yeah, that's
And so we deal with all the litigation regarding that, where they actually came from, who to sue, who not to sue.
I mean, that's a booming industry, though.
It is.
And
is.
so I mean, hats off to you. Mine is
Yeah.
kind of dying,
Yeah.
because we do a lot of just solely martial arts infringement law.
Oh.
So,
What, you mean like the movements?
yeah, well, it's just mostly, these martial arts have been around for thousands of years.
Sure.
And it's really mostly just us. We look for specific examples of people that are, changing these martial arts. So say they create a new move, wrongo. We're not here for innovation. That's
Right.
why these martial arts have survived
Thousands
so long.
of years.
So long. And also, martial arts are only supposed to be used in self-defense, correct?
Correct.
So we go after those who use it aggressively. Or sometimes we'll defend people who use it aggressively. It's whoever calls us first. It's
Right.
first come, first serve. So
That makes sense.
yeah, if you want to be on the winning side, just call us.
Always.
That's essentially what we say.
Yeah.
We say we roundhouse everybody but the judge.
Right.
That's our motto.
Yeah.
So.
And I remember you were a consultant for Karate Kid for
Yes, I was. That was a great.
all 7 of the films, right?
7.5.
Because they're working on the new one.
Well, and then they had that accident. They were working on the new one, and they had the thing. We were offset, and they decided that they could do something without us, and it just went horribly wrong.
Right.
And that's why they have people like us there. So now the whole movie is in question because it was just such a horrible accident.
Right.
But yeah, it was a great time working on those movies.
Yeah. Well, you were originally going to be Mr. Miyagi, though, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah, but
Yeah.
they whenever I played him originally in the first screen test, people said that I wasn't approachable enough, or like they and once again, being the male model, people recognized me.
Right.
And so it
Well,
took away from the character. They wanted it to be kind of an obscure, kind of like guy that sells gremlins type feel.
Oh yeah.
And so that's.
Well, I remember it came down between you and the guy that played Rex from Rex Wando and Napoleon Dynamite, right?
Yes, yeah, Jackie Chan, yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
he had the American flag pants, you remember?
Yes,
And
yeah.
he would wear those and roundhouse kick everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
He did
he's a good friend. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So, I'm fine with it. I got to work on those movies behind the camera, and that's
Behind
where
their
I like-
back?
Yeah, behind their back mostly.
Yeah.
Yes, just trying
Yeah.
to. I'll be honest. I did have a little bit of spite there, so
Yeah.
maybe I did sabotage a couple action shoots.
Yeah.
That's just part of the game.
Yeah.
When
Well, I
you come-
remember you were the one that actually took Daniel's bike from Karate Kid and bent it all up.
I did.
And then they had to incorporate that in a scene like
Yeah,
it
they just
fell
had to
down.
write it out. Well, the budget was extremely thin for that first movie. So
Right.
anything, that was the funnest shoot for me because I would just
Mm-hmm.
F stuff up and mess stuff up.
Yeah.
And they just had to ride around it. So
Yeah.
I gave him a black eye at one point.
Yeah.
Because he just was not keeping up with the choreography.
Yeah.
And we run all choreography full speed. And he just wasn't
100%.
able to keep up. Yeah, 100%. And then kabang, hello,
Yeah.
black eye. And they're like, he's
Yeah.
got to get beat up by bullies.
Yeah, well, I had a problem with Karate Kid when they filmed it because they took my trademark shirt, the one with the pig, and it said "Making Bacon."
Uh-huh.
They took that. No, they didn't pay me for it, and they
See,
just
I thought they paid. I asked them multiple times because I saw it and I was
No.
like, "Hey,
Hey.
right?" But that's
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah.
Like I know him.
yeah,
We do a podcast,
yeah.
and they seemed to. I mean, granted, they never came out and said, "Yeah, we paid him for this," but I kind of figured
I
they're
was
wearing
I
it.
was pissed, man, because I worked so hard on that design. I had like 8, 9, 10 pigs, and that original cartoonish sketch that's on the T-shirt, I had to take that photo, and then digitize it to a cartoon, then put it on the shirt, print it, and write "Making Bacon."
It was a lot harder back then to digitize things too.
It
I
was.
feel like.
It was. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I had very little help, very little money.
Yeah.
And then to find out that this big company had taken my idea and just
If I would have known that, I
Something
don't
that
even
got
know
broke.
if I would have supported the next 6 movies.
yeah.
I would have ramped up my shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah.
Even more so than I did.
Yeah.
Because then they have, I'm mad about what they did to me, and then I'm mad about what they did to you. I mean, that's double trouble for them.
Everyone's pissed.
Yeah, it's just
Everyone's
not a good
pissed.
situation.
Yeah.
But they're great movies. I love them. It's kind of was some passion projects of mine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really shaped me to who I am today.
Yeah.
And so I'm thankful for them.
Well, and that was the other thing too. I remember when you were making Terminator, was it Terminator 2 or Terminator 3? And you you didn't want to use Arnold Schwarzenegger anymore because his contract was getting up there money wise. You remember that?
Yeah.
So you went ahead and invented the T. What was it? 1000, which was all CGI. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was really, they call me the multi-tool.
The tool.
Just the tool.
The tool.
Actually, it started off as multi-tool, and
Yeah.
then people just started calling me
Here
tool
comes the
everywhere.
tool.
Yeah.
The tool's coming. Here comes the tool.
Yeah, here, everybody look at the tool.
Yeah.
It's really an endearing compliment, and I love when people call me that. But it's because I fix all these problems.
Yeah, you're a fix-it guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy. You're the one.
I'm a tool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And so I go and, he was getting expensive, and he wanted to be paid by the second, by the scene.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$500,000 a second.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I couldn't understand that. I think that's as best as I could gather. I couldn't really understand it. He hadn't honed in his accent as much back then. So I think that's what he said.
Right.
But even if that wasn't what he said, that was in the ballpark of what he said. So
Roundabout.
it was just no.
Yeah.
I came up with
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and so I actually had that robot, and he just worked for me. He was kind of like my assistant. I was like, hey, I've got this. If you want to, we'll put in some red contacts in the robot, make him look really big and evil.
Yeah.
You guys can just use this.
Didn't you made some cyborgs in your time? I know you made a
Yeah.
few politicians that were cyborgs.
I don't really.
Is that
I don't
real?
make them. I don't make them. I just am. I have like a halfway house for when they come down from the mothership, and they kind of have a halfway house, so that way I can train them on living in this society,
Fitting in.
Yeah, and then succeeding in this society, and then
Yeah.
so then they stay with me for a while, and then they
So you
move
don't
out.
actually own them. You're not.
No,
owner.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm a friend, and I'm
like
a
a mentor.
I'm a pair of open arms.
Right.
And I'm here, if they ever need anything. I mean, they're my babies.
Yeah.
They come to me and they don't even speak our language.
No. What language do they speak?
It's kind of it's like a hybrid of Cajun
Yeah.
and a series of snaps with their fingers. And Icelandic. They call it gibber.
Gibber.
Yeah, it's a regional dialect up there.
Right.
And so it was incredibly hard for me to even
Grasp it.
start.
So how'd
thinking.
you break through that barrier to communicate with them?
Actually, Rosetta Stone,
which
which is another great sponsor of ours.
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone really helped us out. And they kind of built the whole program from scratch.
Yeah.
But the problem was, we don't really like people knowing that we're doing this, putting these politicians in power, that are just alien cyborgs. So
Men in Black type stuff.
yeah.
Right?
So
Yeah.
and people don't want to know that our leaders are from another planet.
No.
So we
No,
kind of kept it. It's an exclusive package with Rosetta Stone, and it's just on request. They don't have it on their website.
Yeah.
but-
So when politician just suddenly disappears, whether it be they step down, they get impeached, they get killed or whatever, that isn't really happening though, right? That's what you were telling me. It's more like they're just beaming back up to the mothership.
Yeah, it's more of it's a lot more surreal and positive than people think. So a lot of times it's just time for retirement, and so
Yeah, they've had enough. They've had enough.
they're good to go, and actually they have a lottery, on the other planet of these cyborgs, because they do a lot of really hard labor, these cyborgs on that mother planet.
The mothership.
Yeah, well, no, the mothership is in orbit, and the mothership is a landing area for them to send them down here.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of physical labor. So they have a lottery. They come up,
Right.
and they get their training with me at the halfway house,
Right.
and then they serve for a while, and if they screw up, then they're sent back to the physical labor. But if not, then they get to retire and go and promote. I don't know if you've ever seen the Hungry Games.
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Yeah, the Starving Games.
Yeah, do you know how whenever they compete there?
Yeah, with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
and Michael J. Fox.
Yep.
After
that
they
was intense, dude.
yeah, after they compete,
And they
you
eat
know
the
how
poison berries. And
yeah.
Yeah.
You know how after they compete, they go on that tour and they're like talking
yeah.
it up.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they do. They go
On the
back.
train.
So it's a retirement.
They're on the train.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actually that was written by a cyborg because he was kind of it was reshifting. You know, it was kind of
regenerating.
yeah, well, he was like telling the story of that in so many different words.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where that came from.
They were telling me, because I talked to one of them just in passing. I mean, nothing serious, but they were saying something about how that actually happens on their planet. You know, that's how they survive.
Yeah.
It's this they're all hungry, right? And there's just a little bit of food.
Yes.
And so basically they have to pick each other off to make sure there's enough food for someone.
Yeah, well,
And they don't know who or why, but that's just what they do.
Yeah, and I would really encourage. I'm glad that you talked to him because I would encourage just everybody to go and ask everybody you see if they're a cyborg.
Yeah, I would text message them because I didn't speak the.
Okay,
You know,
so
like
he was
that.
actually speaking the actual original dialect.
Well, he was, but we would just use emojis.
Okay,
You know, to
well, that's
to
very
communicate.
that is very special, and he must trust
Yeah.
you a lot.
Well,
to
it
be
was
speaking
hard
that
because
with you.
some of the emojis that make like the poop one, I
Yeah.
would send to him and he would get excited. And in their culture, that means food. In our
Okay.
culture, food
Yeah.
exiting.
Yeah,
you
they're-
know, it's close. Food exiting.
Well, they do a lot of frozen yogurt.
Froyo.
It's mostly
Yeah.
froyo there. So I think that's where it kind of looks like the same.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
so
then the eggplant one, he would get like offended. I don't know why. He never
yeah, I don't
really
know.
talked
I don't
about
think
that.
they're big on vegetables there. Purple ones especially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's very awesome that he was talking to you in that dialect. That's something very special, and I would really cherish that memory
I did.
because
I actually saved the cell phone.
that's awesome. Yeah,
I still use it
and
till today.
I would really encourage everybody to go up to really anybody you see in the street and just ask them, create a dialect. You know, are you a cyborg? And
You
if
can
they-
write it. You can write it.
Yeah, because they don't want to come out and say it, but
Right.
if you ask them, they're
Right.
really proud of it.
Yeah.
And it's a part of their heritage,
Well,
and they have
cyborgs
so
have
much
rights, man. Cyborgs,
yeah,
they have.
and they
they're
aren't
people too.
They aren't monsters.
No.
You know, they're here and they're leading us.
And
they're
for-
mind controlling us just like everybody else.
little
So
bit, a little
yeah,
bit.
I
It's
mean,
not
and
bad.
so they want to tell you about where they're from. So I would
Yeah.
just go out there, find a cyborg, and if people sometimes it may take a while for
Yeah.
one of them to admit because they may
Yeah.
not trust you.
Yeah.
So if somebody says I'm not a cyborg, just keep asking them about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Message them on Facebook,
Yep.
text them, call
Yep.
them. Call them from restricted numbers.
Yeah, and
just
the
to
funny
get
thing,
them,
this
you
this
know.
right here, this signal, that's a cyborg thing. This one.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No. Well, I don't really do.
They started. Well, everyone's doing this because it's cool. It's not cool. That's a cyborg thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that I didn't know about the culture. So that's
Yeah.
something that once again that special interaction and connection
Yeah.
that you had with him that is
Yeah.
really neat.
Well, his name was Papio, and he was from I don't know, the eastern region of wherever the hell he was from.
So, but he snapped with his fingers, correct?
Right.
So he would, yeah. So it would be
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
so it's snap with, and that's something that's very interesting because we primarily communicate with our mouths,
not them.
and they like are a hybrid of snapping mouth.
Slapping the knees together, elbows.
Yeah, just they use the
they did
whole
this,
body, and it's
that.
something. It's really
means
beautiful.
something.
I
Yes.
found it beautiful because it's like
It's an
almost
art
a
form.
dance.
Yeah.
you know, they're dancing, so you're interpreting their body.
It's
but you're
interpretive
also
dance.
interpreting the
Yeah,
words
yeah.
that are coming out of their mouth.
Which is why, so you think you can dance is all. It's all cyborgs. That's their thing.
yeah, I had no. I mean,
Because if you ever notice the people that dance, they don't talk much. They mostly dance.
that's true.
That's why, because they don't speak like we do.
See, and that's like so. I also I had no idea Kevin Bacon was a cyborg.
Oh yeah.
Until
time.
I
Big
watched.
time. Tremors?
No, actually, shoot, Footloose.
Footloose.
When he just goes and dances it out.
Oh, yeah.
That is how cyborgs mostly
Yeah.
get rid of their stress.
Yeah, they break it down.
So that if you rewind that, watch it in slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
you can see him snapping when he's dancing in the warehouse.
Yeah.
he's snapping. So the whole thing is a sentence repeated over and over,
yeah,
saying,
yeah. Well, I really like Kevin Bacon in Roadhouse.
"Yes,
When,
and
he
Dirty
got-
Dancing."
Yeah,
Yes.
when he got Bebe
yes.
Prego.
Yeah,
That was. I mean, I
Yes.
was like, whoa.
yeah, that was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
didn't just happen.
He was
That's
good.
not real.
He was good in Red Dawn as well.
Yeah, and Point Break.
yes,
That
yeah.
was sick. But
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of fit that part because of
Whatever
the-
happened to that guy? I don't
He still does stuff, but he works for the FBI now.
Oh, cool.
So he kind of
Yeah.
lays low. He's
Just
like,
lay-
yeah, because he wanted to go into the undercover part,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Well, dude, you can't do that because everyone knows who you are." So he kind of just was like, "I'm no more movies. I'm undercover."
Well,
Deep.
I need to actually look at my registry because he may have gone back.
He probably did.
So
It
he may
happens.
have. Usually we have like a little party or like a little party where we make our own coffee drinks. So like we'll try different flavors of lattes.
And see, the funny thing is, I know
before
you're
they
talking
leave.
about the coffee enema. They made that because that's how these cyborgs drink. We drink through our mouth; they drink through the other end.
Yes, yeah.
So that way they could go anywhere and be like, coffee.
Yes.
Hey,
and
coffee
actually,
enema?
I actually tried that my first coffee enema.
Oh, yeah.
On accident.
Yeah.
Well, not on accident, but he was trying to let me try this coffee.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand how we do that. That's one of those things.
Forcing it on you.
Being that house there and trying to teach them how we eat and drink. He had no
uncomfortable
idea.
moment.
Yeah, he had no idea. So
Right.
it was accidental. But now, I mean, I do one every day.
Every day.
Just to keep everything rocking and
Flowing
rolling
and
moving.
fresh.
Yep. Yeah.
Ah.
So.
Well, that's pretty good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that brings us up to speed for what we've done this week, right?
I agree. Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Just focusing on the end zone.
End zone layer and
End zone, red zone.
Trump pube swish.
Yes, yeah.
So,
but I'm just glad to be back, honestly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and glad
back to
to be
reality.
here and in this tropical paradise. I think we're both dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, well, we've got to get back on the ship and head back. So,
Yeah.
but real quick, I mean, I had a good time. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
I had a great time. And I think, if you identify with the cyborgs, I think you should subscribe. If you love what they do, I think you should subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, if you are
really
a cyborg,
celebrate it.
Yeah, and if you
Bring it out.
if you know a cyborg in your life, comment down below. Or if you love what they're doing, just comment down below.
Yeah, if you don't like what they're doing.
Yeah, if
we
you
want to hear that too.
Yes, yeah. Or
That's part of their culture.
If you're all about the end zone like we are, and you're just fired up about it,
You
let
want to
us
save
know.
it.
Yeah.
Save the end zone.
Save the end
and
zone.
we're going to probably come out with some T-shirts soon that say "Save the End Zone." Later,
Yes, yes,
And
yeah.
if you guys would buy those, 10% of the proceeds go to me, 10% go to Rob, and the rest of it goes to
the end zone. We're just going to
the
throw
end
it in the end zone.
Yeah, we're gonna grind it up and turn it into liquid poultice and just
up.
let it evaporate through the ozone.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to do our part. That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
all right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
see you next time.
Take it easy.
Bing, bing, incredible. Bing, bing, incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for flying with us. On our final approach, please make sure your seat backs and trays are in their upright and lock positions.